All right, we're officially live. All right, hello guys. Yeah, I'm using weatherwise. Um, hello guys. We're officially live on the channel. This is the first time I've been live in quite a long time, but today's not looking like an extremely crazy severe weather risk, but it could be. We could get some definite severe weather thunderstorms. We do have an enhanced risk of severe storms from southern Minnesota through northern portions of Iowa and central Wisconsin into central and northern parts of Michigan. And then it's a light risk of severe storms from Nebraska all the way up to the UP of Michigan, including many areas, including Milwaukee, Mason City, Green Bay. Minneapolis is also under this. Des Moines could be impacted by the storms. Garden City, Dodge City could get affected by also a slight risk of severe storms down there. And then we also have a little slight risk of severe storms in portions of northern New York and parts of Vermont regions. That's basically what we've got to talk about today. We also have an isolated tornado threat south of Minneapolis through Rochester, Green Bay, where we could see isolated tornadoes and definitely significant straight line damaging winds of 60 to 75 miles an hour, potentially in many of these regions. That is what we are paying attention to across these areas currently. And if we look at the hail potential, we also have a risk of hail across these areas. So the first thing I do want to do real quick is I kind of want to show you guys the mile runs. The weather is not insanely potent right now. It could change here in the next little bit, but one second, we're gonna try to find the right area. North. Yeah, hello guys. I got Chris in the stream today. So yeah, we will have storms definitely advancing throughout the night. Problem is, this is going to be mainly an overnight risk. We will have these severe storms posing risk then fizzling out. But the HRRR says a lot of these storms are really going to impact these areas during the overnight hours, especially. So we won't be able to cover this whole thing, but we'll definitely cover many of the storms, even if it's not mainly this enhanced risk that we are covering all of. Um, but yeah, that's what we have to talk about today, and hope you guys will be watching this. All right. So the first thing we're going to mention is we do have severe thunderstorm warnings currently in effect. We have this across northern portions of Michigan, including Grayling up to Roscommon. These are just going to pose risk for 60 miles an hour damaging wind gusts. You see, we do have a little bit of strong wind showing up on velocities, not much, but just a little bit of clusters of storms here posing some isolated wind damage risk, but not really anything in the way of hail. Another one that is going to impact here is like Hillman and Atlanta, not Atlanta, Georgia, Atlanta in Michigan here. Then you also have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings currently impacting portions of Massachusetts and parts of upstate New York, including Pittsfield under a severe thunderstorm warning, Greenfield, and Great Barrington, where we could see the potential for isolated hail, not really much in the way of hail, but mostly a cluster of storms, kind of a line of storms producing the risk for 50 to 60 miles an hour gusts across that region. And then we also. Mhm. We're at Granger. Oh god. Okay. I don't see a Granger anywhere. How do you spell that? Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's not rotation. That's just that that's sorry. That's just clutter. It's clutter because you got to look at things. You've got the rotation look, but then there's nothing to support it. You're looking at a blob of rain. The rotation can't even happen there. So that's just radar glitch right there. Because if you look higher in the tilts, there's nothing. What's up? Yeah. Okay. Portions of central and northern Vermont, we currently have severe thunderstorm warnings from Burlington over to St. Albans, down to Middlebury and Rutland. Honestly, these things don't look like they don't even look severe. They just look like weak thunderstorms, but it is the Northeast, and we do actually have a potent wind risk in these areas. So this northern area we do have is really the main area I'm looking at for wind damage near Plattsburgh up to St. Albans on Interstate 89 north of Burlington, where we do actually have a fairly strong area of wind damage, potentially 60 to 65 miles an hour over Plattsburgh International Airport. So some big time strong winds impacting those areas. So over there. Oh, actually, that's cool. Yeah. For Plattsburgh. This is just my first stream being back after a while. I'm not expecting much.
Rain. It's not basically just rain. Like, none of these storms are severe thunderstorms. Yeah, guys. Today's risk is mainly, I would think, more of a damaging wind threat. It's still the early stages of the event, so you guys do need to keep an eye on it if you live in northern Iowa and Wisconsin, with the main air.
1 second, I've got I'm posting this on Twitter real quick. Awesome. There's people watching? Oh, nice. Awesome. Hello, Central Virginia ES. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. Yeah, this guy's been a member of my channels back then for a long time, since the Blaze Weather days.
Hail into the storm, people on hail estimate.
Yeah.
Hail side.
Yes, the good old Blaze Weather dude. Yeah. I mean, I'm already growing on this one more, but I might start posting there again. Really just depends. If I stop growing on this channel, then I'll go back to that. But I'm pretty good with this channel right now. Yeah, a long time. It was only a long time ago. Wish I would have stayed with that account. Yeah. All right. We do have a few severe thunderstorm warnings here in portions of western Kansas. We have one in an area that has barely any radar. You can't even see anything, and you can't see much on the radar at all. But from Syracuse up to Kendall, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. This is a fairly big cluster of severe storms this late. This is going to be producing golf ball sized hail. Yeah, 1.75 inches golf ball sized hail. Across these areas where we do have a fairly big hail core in this region, and I wouldn't even be surprised if we see some strong winds out of this. This is a fairly strong storm impacting these regions, and it's moving very slowly too, probably producing a lot of rainfall. Yeah. Kansas. Yeah, and then we also have another severe thunderstorm warning here near Colby, Kansas, north of Colby, Kansas. This cluster is moving north. Man, we got a lot of clusters here. and is producing a ton of lightning and strong winds and also more hail. Well, this area is more conducive for hail damage. Look at that. We do have a few hail cores here north of Colby, kind of in the middle of nowhere, but still experiencing hail damage. You said you wanted to pop in to say hi. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you tuning in to my stream. Yeah. Where? Yeah, dude, you can't have. There's literally no chance of a tornado there. I'm sorry, bro. The- Yeah, well, it's a cluster of storms. There's nothing tornadic about that thing. You can't get a tornado with a storm like that. There's not even a 2% chance of tornadoes there. You're not getting a tornado out of a cluster of storms like that. Alright. Now, if we look back at these storms over in, wow, I just realized these storms that are severe in portions of Massachusetts are not even in a severe weather risk. They're in a general thunderstorm risk. That is quite funny. Yeah, for some reason, I can't hear your voice on this for some reason. Hello, DXDD1. Dang. Bro, I'm trying. I don't have your audio is like not popping up on my thing for some reason. For some reason, it's not popping up. Wait, I might be able to fix it. All good, bro. All good. 1 second, guys. Go through a little bit of issues here. Yeah.
Radar estimates
All right,
1 inch
you're
size
officially
hail.
talking. You were not talking the whole time, and now you're finally.
Uh,
You're finally talking. My bad. All right.
alright,
All good.
very good.
Yeah. Okay. Squall line. Yes. We do have a squall line across portions of Massachusetts here from Pittsfield up to North Adams, down to Hudson and Catskill, heading towards Great Barrington and Greenfield. The more stronger winds are going to be where the storms are more organized from Pittsfield up to Bennington, where we'll have, I'd say, 50 miles an hour. 50 to 60 miles an hour looks pretty accurate with these storms that are severe, especially heading towards Greenfield and Northampton on Interstate 91 in northern Massachusetts. All right, now we do have more severe thunderstorm warnings here north of Burlington and near Plattsburgh, where we do have some very strong winds crossing near Plattsburgh regions in these watered regions, but these are heading towards Interstate 89 near St. Albans. So if you are in Interstate 89 near St. Albans down to Milton, we do have severe thunderstorms producing some fairly strong winds, 50 to 60 miles an hour in these regions, as you can see on velocities. With those blues is where it's indicative of very strong wind gusts in those areas. So that is heading towards the east. This is up in way northern Vermont areas. I'm trying to look at radar scope, Chris, to see if where the wind damage is.
Other reports?
Yeah, no, I don't see any reports. Because I know you can check that in radar scope.
Network.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spotter network.
Yeah. Okay. We do have multiple wind damage reports and hail reports, though. We have a ping pong ball, or no, golf ball sized hail and 60 miles an hour wind reports for these storms down near Syracuse and southern portions of Kansas. So this big old cluster of storms and probably some very big hail damage actually did. There's definitely some very strong gusts out of this. It's definitely really far away from the radar, so you can't really get much. We're barely over 10,000 feet up in the air, probably from back here. Not 10,000, but definitely more towards 6,000 feet up in the air. But that means you don't get as much accurate data, but we were definitely seeing some very strong wind gusts from this. And These are
Moving
definitely some
slow,
very severe
15
thunderstorms.
miles an hour.
What?
It's moving pretty slow, 15 miles an hour, not that fast.
Yeah, it is. That's why I also wanted to point out that there could be some flooding threats with this storm if it trains over the same areas over and over again. Um, it's definitely producing a lot of rainfall and a lot of hail. That means the areas will get a lot of hail on dumped on them. Yeah, we definitely have had a lot of rain, up to 2 inches of rain in some spots. There's just not been any back building or training of it to where it's like been super problematic.
Yeah, no, so far no rotation in the 5% as of now.
Yeah,
It's all just a messy cluster, honestly.
yeah. There's
But
nothing happening over there. Let's do this other. Oh, no rotation with this thing. That's a very weak storm. Because we basically, yeah, if you see this as a severe thunderstorm watch all over here, these storms aren't developing much, and the models aren't saying they're going to develop until pretty late. This area is just clusters of slop right now.
even the Cape's going down now, so
I don't think that's going to affect it. It's summertime,
yeah,
Brody.
for real. Dude, I have like over 2,000 Cape in my area right now.
Yeah. You have no forcing to make your storms form. You have a cap in
Yeah,
place, buddy.
dude, look at that cap. Oh my goodness, in my area. I had a cap the whole day, Blaze. That's why my slight risk didn't do anything. And the cap never broke.
Yep.
It was like, right now I have an 83% cap out of like 300. Right? It's out of 300 or something, the scale, I think. Something like that,
Mm, not sure.
I think.
1 second,
I might
guys.
get to like day three, because on Friday it's like gonna be 101. The dew point's gonna be high, and I think the Cape's gonna be very high. So I wonder what that's gonna be. But
Nice, yeah. If you guys have any
what are
questions,
you
feel free to
thinking
ask in
about
the chat.
today?
What'd you say?
True. Said I didn't think my event's gonna play out on Friday. It's just gusty winds and maybe some possible hail. Honestly, that's what they
Yeah,
said.
tomorrow's severe weather risk. I'm actually honestly looking at for strong wind damage. We already do have a SIG area, Bismarck, Minneapolis, Sioux Falls, Sioux City. The miles are definitely hinting at MCS potential. Big clusters of storms. I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah.
anything tomorrow gets an enhanced risk and is more deserving of it
True.
than what today has. But we'll watch because the miles have been absolutely terrible recently. So
I haven't been impressed lately, honestly.
let's watch your area now. Let's see. So your area,
See, it says possibly overlapping storms, mid-deep shear possible,
day
organized
3.
heavy
Okay.
hacking, damaging. Ooh, large hail. Ooh, large. Keyword large. That's interesting.
I'm looking at your area. Okay, so the thing is, the HRR is nothing forming for you, but the M3 has a big storm hitting you, and it is a cluster of storms, so definitely wind damage.
On Friday. But
Yeah,
still.
but besides that, the coverage is kind of weak. I'll be watching it. It looks kind of
How's the
uncertain.
NAM not been how's the NAM not been that good lately, or people are saying that?
I don't know. But yeah, we do have a new extension to this severe thunderstorm warning heading towards Lakin, up north towards State Road 25 and Highway 50 near Lakin and Deerfield in portions of western Kansas. We do have this big cluster actually of storms moving through towards the east. It is moving fairly slow, but it is definitely very strong. It is definitely starting to move a little bit into an eastern pace, but this is going to be producing some very big hail. If anybody's on this road, I would definitely get off the road if you can, because we're going to have some very strong winds coming by, and I mean, big time hail damage. Look at that. We got some big hailstone. Wouldn't be surprised if some areas are experiencing 2-inch hail in this region. even though they actually just changed the warning to 0.88 in hail. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's go back to the reports. I don't know how they downgrade this thing that quick.
Wait, they downgraded the storm in Kansas?
Yeah, but there's still those 60 miles an hour wind gust reports, which makes sense. I just don't
Wait,
see the
what are they
hail.
showing for hail? They're showing 1 inch size hail on radar estimate. That's radar estimate, so
Yeah.
usually not 100% accurate, but you can get a decent idea.
Yeah. There. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks for all the viewers. I'm kind of surprised we've even got a fair amount of viewers with just being
Yeah.
back to this, but we are just more recently back to the streams, and I'm gonna start being more consistent with this now. All right, so we do have also received on this morning north of Colby, Rexford, a Chills. A Chills. What kind of name is that? A Chills.
Yeah.
A Chili's. Okay, so the reason it's a weird name is because there's nobody living there. I don't like that Weatherwise does this. It's got a town, and the only
Yeah.
thing this town has is a cemetery, and there's not a single house.
No way. But who names those that must be a haunted town at night.
Yeah. A Chili's, Kansas.
Would it be scary to go on that in that town at night?
It's literally an extinct gone. So a Chills right here is an extinct ghost town. It has
Oh
an
wait,
unpopulated status. Why?
so it's literally so it's literally just a cemetery that it used to be a town, but those people passed away.
I guess, bro. I guess, bro.
That's crazy. Which was on the border between MC Cook. I'm trying to find
All
it.
right, bro. Just chill. It's just like kidding. But yeah, it chills. Zero population will be impacted by this, but a place with real population, Rexford, Kansas, will actually get
Oh yeah.
impacted.
Oh, that got a hail core. Wow.
Rexford's actually got people that are being impacted by the storms. Definitely producing 1 inch hail. We definitely do have we're reaching 65 dBz in this area. So we do have some fairly big hailstones probably in this small hail core that we do have here. This is in Kansas, by the way, in Colby, north of I-70, near Colby, Kansas. All right, since there's really nothing happening in the enhanced risk right now, we're going to go back to where we actually have stuff happening with this. We have a big line of storms, guys. Look at this. We have a huge line of storms from all the way down from southern New York all the way up to literally Canada that we do currently have. That is absolutely insane. We do have these storms starting to explode a little more. So Burlington is now being impacted by this. We do have some strong winds here. Definitely weakened a bit, but we do have some definitely strong winds, especially north of Burlington on Interstate 89. And then more storms down south in this area throughout Interstate 7 near Middlebury. Chris has driven through this region. Right, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing research on that town. It says it's a ghost town. It only has 35 people potentially living in the more populated side.
Bro. Yeah.
It says it became the ghost
Okay,
town
bro.
revolution. Yeah.
Lock in. All right. All right, Ghost Town. We need to lock in on the weather.
Yeah, for real.
Still have this 3,000 warning in portions of northern Michigan really starting to weaken and die down, but still some fairly strong winds with that. Oh, the Greenfield down in Northampton on Interstate 91, all the way up to southern portions of Vermont, Green Mountain National Forest area, Pittsfield are all getting impacted by lines of storms producing some fairly strong winds. But that's the only threat strong winds and lightning. So get indoors if you're in that area. Yeah. Oh, news for this morning that we do have now an effect for Neversink. Neversink in southern New York. Oof, a lot of weird town names, man.
For
Grahamsville, Unionville. Okay.
it's a very
Cooley,
risk off damaging winds.
Anderson, all under this. I'm just gonna start saying the county because the thing is, like, you got to get real towns, but sometimes weather-wise, it's like picking like towns that are non-existent, like a ghost town, and putting them on the map.
Yeah.
But northeastern Sullivan County in southern New York is where we could get some big storms. Oof, all right. Absolute slop happening right now. Slop fest. And
It has to risk.
yeah, slop.
Yeah, Ryan
It's a slop
Hall's not
fest.
going live anymore.
Stop mentioning Ryan Hall, y'all. We're not supportive of Ryan Hall, y'all. This is NATO Aaron, not Ryan Hall, y'all. Buddy. This is
nothing, honestly.
This is Ryan. This is NATO Aaron's. We are the king of weather. All right. Look at this. Still a big, strong storm near Lake, and this could impact Garden City, Kansas in the future. That would be big time because this would bring some strong winds there and even some big hail damage in that region there. And then a big storm is also happening north of Colby, Kansas right now with a fairly big hail core. Not seeing too much strong winds out of it, but some big hail is occurring with that storm. Oh, there's clusters of slop storm rain.
Boys, there's only one severe thunderstorm warning in the enhanced risk, and it's in Michigan.
Well, that enhanced risk isn't under a watch because there's nothing impact.
Yeah.
The main storms aren't going to be there right now.
There, yeah.
Oh, it's actually, I'm going to look on X to see what they're talking about. You said it's nice thunder in Minnesota southeast. Okay, yeah, we do have some big thunderstorms currently occurring in southeast Minnesota near La Crosse, Caledonia. They're nothing in the way of severe, but they are big clusters of storms, probably strong thunderstorms, big clusters of them. Nothing's organized enough, but big clusters of storms producing storms hitting you. Yeah, big clusters of storms definitely near Spring Grove, Yucatan, Preston areas where we do have some big clusters of storms. Nothing in the way of severe, but we could get it's definitely strong storms producing big lightning and especially very heavy rainfall. I mean, this is a pretty monstrous storm here, just nothing extremely severe and nothing severe at all. So you'll be fine there. You will be fine. You're in Spring Grove. Yep. Definitely a fairly large storm impacting areas like Spring Grove down State Road 44. I think that's what you call it. Yeah, definitely some strong storms. Actually, some isolated wind damage there too. Not wind damage, sorry, strong winds. We could definitely see 40 miles an hour winds. It is a strong thunderstorm, just nothing in the way of severe limits. So you'll be fine there. It's not like anything that you have is going to be damaged, but just stay indoors. That's a very large storm. All right, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning in Portsmouth, Massachusetts. This is now including Springfield, Massachusetts, for the potential for 60 miles an hour winds and penny-sized hail. Don't even really think anything in the way of hail. But as this cluster of storms moves down south, we now have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect way in advance towards Springfield, Massachusetts. So you have plenty of time in Springfield, Massachusetts to get indoors, especially Holyoke and Northampton and Greenfield as these storms approach, with the potential for strong wind damage. All right, strong storms still heading through Hyde Park, now St. Johnsbury, Vermont, Rutland, and Middlebury are all getting impacted by some severe weather currently. So a lot of severe thunderstorms are occurring. Let's see what parts of
Yeah.
Twitter, what people on Twitter are saying about this event, because about this
Sounds like you're
slot
gonna be too
fest.
satisfied.
Yeah. People are gonna be like, this is slop. I'm done chasing this one.
Better if someone drove to chase this event, though. That'd be
One sec. We're going to one sec.
so even a special weather statement on these storms.
Bro, I didn't even know
No,
USA's
remind
USA. I keep forgetting USA versus Bosnia. Oh my
me.
gosh.
US one.
They won 2-0. That's
Wait, so
Aura.
there's not even a special weather statement on these storms in the enhanced arrest. That's crazy. Not even a special weather statement.
Not even a special weather statement. Were you watching the World Cup earlier?
Oh yeah, a little. I'm a Brazil fan though.
Yeah. You are Brazil. Bro's in the United States and he supports Brazil. Rio
Yeah.
de Janeiro. You know, man, not seeing much posts, but this is just absolute slot fest currently.
How much longer you're streaming?
I've got a decent amount of viewers, so I'm gonna keep going for a bit. We'll see. Strong
Remember that
Storm
day
is
when I
definitely
streamed 5 hours?
what?
I say, remember that day when I streamed 5 hours?
Yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy. So Great Barrington, we do have some very strong storms developing currently, or that are expanding from the main line of storms that we do have throughout Massachusetts and the southern Vermont region. Springfield, Massachusetts will be impacted by this in the future. Fairly big town that could get some strong wind gusts. Still, this strong storm moving through Neversink in the southern New York areas. That is definitely through State Highway 55. That is definitely producing fairly strong, fairly big hail. Sorry. There we did a little bit of a hail core near Neversink. Probably nothing in the way of huge hail, but definitely some hail we do have there. Man, we have like barely any severe thunderstorm warnings.
Oh.
Wait, is there no severe thunderstorm watch in the Northeast when there's like a million severe thunderstorm warnings?
Wait, did they cancel it? Oh yeah, they canceled the watch.
Bro, there's literally so many severe thunderstorms. That's kind of
All the
weird.
severe thunderstorm warnings are in the general risk and marginal risk.
I know there's a
not
severe
that.
thunderstorm warning and a general risk.
You know, this whole area used to be in a slight risk before 9 p.m. I think they should have kept it. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Environment Canada?
They're not very good at making severe weather data because they don't have they just don't have what National Weather Service has because they make extremely big
I don't
warnings.
like their SPC outlooks either.
Yeah.
Or their outlooks.
They could fix it. They just I don't know. Maybe they don't have the
They
money for it.
update once a day. They update once a day, by the way.
Yeah.
Look, this was their outlook today for
What?
my family. I sent this to you.
Sending me.
Yeah, by the way, Blaze, the Canada
Uh-oh.
outlooks only go out to like 2 days out, by the way. Day 1 and day 2.
Yeah.
There's no like day 3, day 4.
Yeah. All right. So then some morning heading towards Springfield, up to Northampton, up to Greenfield now, across Interstate 91 in portions of western Massachusetts. As we do have a lot of storms moving through the region with some fairly strong wind gusts that we do have across these regions. 50 to 60 miles an hour winds moving through. And then we also, so yeah, that's a part of the severe weather risk. The main enhanced risk of severe storms is not really doing much right now, but if we do look at the HRRR model, which is what we're going to pull up, we might not even be in the main part of the severe weather threat right now. That might not even occur till later tonight. We had a lot of cloud cover early in the day which really brought down the main severe weather threat. And so, basically we will have more clusters of storms probably developing throughout the night and rebuilding across Nebraska and northern Iowa. But still, the HRRR definitely is weakened significantly to what it was going to be. And this is definitely looking more like a slight risk day compared to what it was saying earlier. I mean, it's definitely weakened a lot. If we had 18Z earlier, yeah, it had the storms a lot stronger, but it did also kind of show that cluster of storms, but it had the cluster of storms strengthening a lot more. And then it had northern Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota kind of redeveloping storms later in the night. So we could definitely see redevelopment of thunderstorms throughout Sioux City areas into Fort Dodge throughout the night that could pose some definite severe potential. But this main severe weather risk area that was in the main enhanced risks have definitely been significantly underperforming what it was supposed to be across that area. All right. All right. 1 second. I want to look at what our current what's been the view count. What's been the view count?
Maybe peaked at 8, maybe.
I'm trying to look at the we have actually, I think we've gained a few subscribers, so thank you guys. Very well appreciate that. We are up to 40 views. Not bad, not bad. Definitely pretty happy about that.
That's good.
All right. Yeah, 40 views in 38 minutes. Not complaining. Thanks to everybody that has been tuning into this stream. Also, that's someone continuing through Lake and northern areas. Very strong winds probably can impact Garden City. If they'll probably extend that to Garden City in the future with very strong winds. That's definitely a concerning looking storm. But it is getting late, and we're probably going to end the stream here soon. We will probably be live. I have my setup really fully set up. Like, I could get streams going a lot quicker. So across the next few days, we'll probably have many more live streams coming. And Chris will be featured on many of these streams, unless he's streaming on his own channel, because he's got his own channel, Chris the Hurricane Tracker. Make sure to check it out. He's been doing good with his streams. And he streams more than me, to be honest, so check him out. Make sure to subscribe to him. Because he's been
The
on.
reason why I didn't stream today is because I felt like they wasn't going to be that much. Because I was looking at the enhancers, so I was like, this doesn't look that impressive, and you know.
Yeah. Yep, definitely not looking too impressive. But I needed to go live. It's been a while.
I just had the feeling like you just needed to, because it's
Yep.
been so long.
Yep. Alrighty. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's stream. Have a good day, everybody.